Hi guys. Okay, so in an earlier video, I was talking in audio session, I was talking about kind of choosing a therapist, but really I want to kind of get across something about the potential benefits of counseling. So the counseling process is in many ways like an educational experience. The client only learns about him or herself, but also acquires new skills. So you don't only learn about yourself, but you acquire new skills. Just like when you go take a geometry class, you did not know anything about ax plus bx equals c squared and any of that before you went, but by the time you left, hopefully you were able to do lots of that geometry, right? And so it's the same thing like entering into therapy, that you should learn a lot of new things about yourself as you go to explore your current life and even your life in the past. So that's really important. Also, sometimes it involves learning more about a particular condition. So, for example, let's just say that you and the therapist kind of uncover, hey, I've been dealing with some depression issues, or you know what, my family has a history of bipolar. It's something to discuss and to learn more about. And so it's not about judging yourself, it's not about feeling bad or anything. It's really just more about learning more about what that means, how that looks in your life, and what things you can do to manage the situation. So, certainly, it's about feeling good about yourself. The more you know about yourself, the more you understand, usually the better you feel. Because sometimes if things are going on in your life and you're like, what is going on with me? Then you feel insecure because you're not sure, why are these things happening, right? All right, so sometimes a client can be affected by things like that. So it's important to understand the treatment options. And I know a lot of people are out there like, I don't want any medication. And so I would tell you that therapy is a good first line treatment plan. But first, it starts with finding the right therapist for you. Two, you have to be in a place where you're ready to commit to the therapy and doing what it takes. You will certainly need to create your goals and objectives with your therapist, and you will need to decide on, what you want your outcome to be. Hey, I'm in therapy for this reason. This is what I'd like to see at the end of it. And so these are things that you should be discussing with your therapist so that you're not just kind of all over the place, but you can actually have a focused plan for like why you're there. And you can even ask your therapist, hey, okay, if these are my issues and these are kind of the goals and objectives, how long do you think it might take me in therapy? Because for each person, it depends on how committed they are and how hard they're working. So sometimes I have clients come to me and they're like, Miss Trahan, Dr. Trahan, oops, they call me Dr. Trahan. I tell them I'm not a doctor. But anyway, so they will say, Dr. Trahan, I didn't do the homework. And then I just look at them and I say, okay, well, we'll cover that next time. So it's important that if your therapist gives you homework or follow up activities, that you follow through with them, because those things build on each other and are comprehensive. And so, in order for you to get from point A to Z, which is where you're trying to go, the outcome you're trying to see, you're going to have to be consistent and you're going to have to implement the plan consistently. Okay. All right. So, um, let's see here. Some of the benefits of counseling. So, guys, I have my little list here. So, y'all forgive me because it's just because I don't want to leave out anything, which I probably will anyway. So, forgive me for reading a little bit, okay? So, improve communication and interpersonal skills. So, certainly sometimes you find yourself with your friends, with your mate, your loved one, maybe your kids, or even your boss, just having difficulties and challenges in communication. Be very important for you to be able to find out who that person is and how they best receive communication so that you can create a positive way of communicating. And sometimes it's just listening better, So I think between you and your therapist, you'll be able to get that good information and determine, what, am I a good listener? Or am I just talking all the time? So it's really important to recognize the areas in which you do well already and those areas in which you can use a little bit of improvement. All right. We have to be honest with ourselves to grow. All right, another thing is greater self acceptance and self esteem. So, there are a lot of people that walk around and they actually are missing the core ingredients for a great self esteem. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people, it just means that, hey, we haven't taken the time to work on ourselves and grow ourselves. So, I would say that this is something that you can certainly obtain and create and grow more of inside of a therapeutic environment, because you're talking about a non-judgmental environment with an objective professional third party who has certainly been trained to treat you, work with you, and treat you like a human being where you can be heard. So, that's my clients tell me, like, oh my God, you make me feel heard, and you make me feel like a person, and I think that therapeutic situation should allow that for that client, because I'm asking you to spill your guts about your whole life, all your traumas and everything. So certainly whenever you go in to meet a therapist, you should make sure that that person's a good fit for you, and also that you're willing to accept the truths that come out about yourself so that you can go from point what A to Z. Alrighty, so ability to change self-defeating behaviors and habits. Sometimes we just constantly shoot ourselves in the foot, figuratively, not literally, of course. And so, sometimes we don't even realize that somebody has to pinch us and say, hey, girl, do you realize you did XYZ? You always do XYZ. XYZ creates this in a situation. It's like, oh my God, did I really do that? And so at that point, the light bulb comes on, and then you're able to say, wow, okay, what do I need to do now to work on that part of me? What do I need to do to change that, to modify that, to grow in that area? And so again, therapy, there's so many potential benefits to counseling that, I mean, it's just innumerable. So we should always be looking for the glass half full. And for therapy, the glass is half full. Just know that. Certainly there you can work on and learn better expression and management of emotions, including anger. And so lately with the pandemic and everything, I've talked to a lot of people, and people are angry, they're anxious, they, are dealing with a lot of depression, and people with diagnoses like bipolar and things like that, it's just getting more exacerbated, sometimes even if they're on medication, because it's just the stress of everything. I can't go to work. I can't hang out with my friends. I can't do whatever. So it's just kind of making things worse for people who've never been diagnosed before, and people who are currently diagnosed with certain health concerns, right? Also, relief from depression. Life definitely is not going to be, oh, hunky dory every day. Every day is perfect every day. But we can certainly live a life where more of our days are happy and with smiles on our faces, and us feeling good about what we're doing in our accomplishments, versus having down days where we want to just close off from everyone and close the door and turn the phone off and not watch television and be in the dark. So we don't want to have too many of those days, okay? And not saying that you can't get away on occasion, but if you're getting away like that a whole bunch, then we need to talk, okay? It's not healthy. All right, so relief from depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions, along with increased confidence and decision-making skills. So one of the things, impetuousness of ADD, ADHD, and even just not having been taught critical thinking skills could certainly impact your decision-making skills. So getting with someone to kind of look at, hey, how do you decide on who to date? How do you decide on career opportunities? How do you decide on whatever things that are important in your life, right? So understanding the foundation to decision making in any area of our life. Sometimes parents don't focus so much on that. Sometimes it's just parents focus on getting you to be 18 and alive. Sometimes it's more of a focus than, oh, let me teach you all these other skills, right? So you can get to be 18 or 22 and not have a good decision-making foundation, but that's okay. In therapy, you can find that you can figure that out together as a team. Certainly increased, ability to manage stress effectively and to improve problem solving and conflict resolution abilities. So these are things that you can certainly do in therapy, and I think that you will find that it's going to be positive for you. And don't give up. Just know that every day can be the day that you want it to be. So it's going to be whatever you make it. And every feeling that we feel, 9 times out of 10, we're choosing that feeling. So that's going to be another video. But anyway, guys, I have a session to jump on. Many blessings to you, and I will catch up with you later. Bye for now. See you, Trahan Therapy Center family.